Premier League straight wins, 11 straight wins in all competition. Now you know why. See, if you are upset and you are sad as a Chelsea fan, then you might not be up to speed about what's going on at Chelsea. See, Chelsea problem is broad. Chelsea problem is large. Chelsea is the only team I've seen that can dominate games and still go ahead and lose that game. Chelsea is the only team I know that are favourite to win some certain games and still go ahead and lose those games comfortably. Chelsea is the kind of team that, as a fan, you say Chelsea will definitely win this game and they will go ahead and disappoint you. So if you are surprised at these results, then you have no idea what is going on at Chelsea. But before then, we need to give kudos to Aston Villa. Going 11 or 10 games straight win in all competition before this game was never a fluke. They deserved it. They've worked for it. That is how good they've been. In fact, they are the most informed team in the whole of Europe. So coming into this fixture, they had the whole confidence. They had confidence coming into this fixture. Knowing how they defeated Manchester City this season, knowing how they defeated Manchester United last time, at home last week, knowing how they defeated Arsenal at their home, and knowing how Chelsea can be very, very lackluster at home, they had the chance, they had the confidence, they had the belief coming to Stamford Bridge, because that same Stamford Bridge, Brighton has beaten Chelsea there this season, Sunderland has beaten Chelsea there this season. Chelsea has not been always 100% convincing both home and away this season, and Chelsea also can be found wanting at some point. So they have the confidence and they know they even can believe that they can pick up something, and that was exactly what they did today. Now, for this Chelsea team, I found out two problems of Chelsea this season, and those two problems has always been against Chelsea. One, Chelsea starts games slowly, and if they don't start games slowly, which leads me to the second problem, they find it very difficult to finish up games. Those are one of the two major problems of Chelsea this season, and that can be attributed to either the coaches' changes or also the inexperience of the players. So why do Chelsea start game poorly like they did against Newcastle, concede 2 goals against Newcastle, and at the end of the day had to fight back, finish better in that match and pick up a point? Now in this game, they started this game very, very well, started on the front foot, dominate this game, and at the end of the day, go ahead to lose this game. If you only watch the first half of this particular game, and at the end of the day, somebody tells you Chelsea lost this game, you will not believe, you will doubt yourself until you go ahead and check. And that is how crazy Chelsea can make you be sometimes. So it is normal these days for this kind of things to happen at Chelsea or against Chelsea. This was a very, very pathetic performance in the second half for Chelsea. The first half began, Chelsea came into this game with so much confidence, dominated play, kept possession, was on the front foot at all points. Cucurella was very good. Reece James was very good. They were dominant in midfield, also with the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Was very, very brilliant at all front. Everything Aston Villa threw at Chelsea, gave them back in double fold. In fact, in the first half, Aston Villa sat back. Aston Villa was defending. Aston Villa does not have the willpower to even go forward, because every transition of Aston Villa against Chelsea in the first half, Chelsea cut off everything in midfield. And that's thanks to Cucurella, thanks to Caicedo, and thanks to Reece James. Now, Chelsea on the run of play got a goal, or trust me, I would say Chelsea with a set piece got a goal in the first half through Reece James' corner kick, and also he hit João Pedro to go, to get a goal. At that moment, the first half finished, played very well, the first half finished. Now to the second half. Chelsea coming out in the second half, I expected a Chelsea team that will come out in the second half and kill off the game. Come out in the second half and finish up the game. Come out in the second half and even dominate more, keep possession of the ball, be on the front foot, create more chances, and also get a second goal to finish up the game. But Chelsea, being typical Chelsea, coming into the second half, they became so lackluster. They became so poor. They became a team that I really do not understand them anymore. Just one changes on Unai Emery, and we have to respect Unai Emery. This man has been on the forefront of already making Aston Villa a title contending team because they are just 3 points. If you could call Arsenal a title contending team, if you could call Manchester City a title contending team, I think you need to put in Aston Villa in that mix because these guys are just 3 points behind Arsenal and 2 points behind Manchester City. Now they have to be in that conversation. This is a very good team Aston Villa have, especially in midfield, especially in attack. Morgan Rogers has been very, very good. Look at the 2 goals he scored against Manchester United last week. It was very, very effective for Aston Villa. Now, back to the game. In the second half, when those changes was made, Aston Villa started playing on the front foot. Aston Villa started attacking better. And on the run of play, they got 2 goals. 2 goals, from the striker, which was a very, very important one. And we have to give it to them. Like, they deserve to get the goal. Ollie Watkins deserves to get his goal for Aston Villa. And kudos to Aston Villa and kudos to Unai Emery. Now, let's get into the 5 things we learned from today's game, because today's game was very, very good in the first half. A game of two halves, a game of 2 emotions. The first half, brilliant performance from Chelsea. The second half, poor performance from Chelsea. Now, how did this go from bad, or how did this go from good to bad in the space of 15-20 minutes? Now, it all boils down to the game management for Chelsea. Now, you are not getting what you're supposed to get when those changes was made. You are not on the front foot anymore at that point. And instead of you keeping yourself in the game, making sure things actually work out for you, probably try to rebuild, slow build up from the back, trying to make sure everybody gets in that confidence again, or probably the coach changes would actually make things better. It all went from good to bad. Now, when I talk about game management, I'm talking about how Chelsea could actually make things get better when they know fully well that they are playing badly in the game. And this cost Chelsea the game. Because if you cannot manage the game very well, if you cannot put your claim that, yes, I know things are not going anywhere in the last 3-5 minutes, we need to get tight at the back. We need to make sure we close shop and start building up slowly in attack, or probably a change or 2 could change things up, and Chelsea do not have that. And also boils down to experience, because for you to have good management, you must have good experience. You must have experience in the squad to carry you over the line, to make sure you manage the game very well. That's one. Secondly, another thing we learned is the Chelsea centre-back. Chelsea centre-back was being bullied by a real striker who was on the pitch, who came into the game in the second half in Ollie Watkins. The 2 defenders in Badashili and Chaloba were being bullied. Look at the amount of chances that was created for Aston Villa. Look at how Ollie Watkins was running into them. So that was another worry for today. Now, Caicedo and James and Cucurella was very good in transition, cutting off everything Aston Villa threw at them in the first, and I will have to give kudos to them for that. They did very, very well in that in the first half with that. Now, let's talk about the wingers. I've always been very vocal about Chelsea wingers in a long time. Now, there's no way a striker will always score a goal every single match. Most of the time, the wingers actually is more creative or get the goals for the team. Now, when you have a team when both wingers are blank, no assists, no goal, no creative spark, always missing chances. Chances that are being created for them are being wasted by those 2 wingers. See, it is always going to be a problem for the team. A winger goes beyond you just having work rates. A winger goes beyond you only tracking backwards to help the team, or you being good in man-marking players, or making sure you track back. It goes beyond that. As a winger, you need to be very effective. As a winger, you need to be very creative. As a winger, you need to contribute to the goals in attack. And when you don't do that, and you leave all the job for the striker, or from wherever goals might come from, it will be a big problem for the team. And that is one of the effects in Chelsea right now. Garnacho and Neto are very good when it comes to work rates. Garnacho and Neto will always track back for you and help you defensively. But how about their primary duty in going forward and getting those chances? How about their primary duty in going forward, being very creative up front and scoring goals? They are found wanting every single time. It's now looking like Garnacho is even more effective from the bench than on the pitch. Now, if you take Garnacho off and bring in Gittins, what do you get? Absolutely nothing. So Chelsea wingers needs to be more creative. This is a clear example. Look at Morgan Rogers. He can play from the wings. He played from the wings against Manchester United. He got 2 goals. That is an effective winger. Look at Trossard from Arsenal. He plays from the wings and he gets goals for you. Look at Manchester City. You can see Doku play from the wings and he get goals for you. So what is wrong with Chelsea wingers? It's a big worry going into the later stages of this season. If you're going into these December fixtures are very important. Very important. Look at last season. Chelsea collapsed from December. This season again, it is happening. So that is another problem. Maresca change is something we also need to talk about. Maresca changes, I don't understand. You're taking off Cucurella in a game where Aston Villa was already taking the game to you. They could actually make use of that part of the pitch, and you're taking off Cucurella, who is very good at cutting, passes in midfield, helping Caicedo in midfield, and also helping in transitions. Either in transition against Chelsea or for Chelsea, he was very good at all, with all that. But taking him out of the game, to me, I think that was a senseless move by Maresca. It was a very pointless move from Maresca. I had no idea why he did that, but that actually cost Chelsea, because Chelsea at that point became very vulnerable in defense. And at that point, you could not see nothing that Chelsea was actually building up in defense anymore. So why take Cucurella out of the game? That was a very bad decision from Di Maresca. Now, Reece James. Chelsea are a team that is trying these days to get goals from set pieces. It worked against Newcastle and it worked again today against Aston Villa. If Chelsea could build on that, it's a very good one. Set piece goals are part of football. Set piece goals are very important in football. But at the end of the day, despite you playing well in the first half and play badly in the second half, I'll score Chelsea a very low point in this game. This was not that game that they should lose. Even if it was a draw, it would have been a better one. But losing this game was a very big calamity for Chelsea. And dropping down the table to 5th position when you're supposed to be putting pressure on the people or the teams ahead of you, then I know Chelsea needs to get serious, because this is a very poor performance. Let me know what you think concerning this game. Let me know what you think concerning Chelsea's game against Aston Villa. Who's the man of the match? Who disappointed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, follow this page, like this video, and always share your thoughts in the comment. Don't forget to share as well until I come your way again next time. I remember your boy Michael. I know you're disappointed, but take emotions away. This was a very poor game. I remember your boy Michael. Stay cool. Cheers.